Hey everyone, it's MKBHD here. Today we're diving into something super exciting for all you Mac users out there. Ever wanted to run Windows software on your trusty Mac? Maybe there's a game or a specific application that you just can't live without. Turns out you totally can. And it's not as complicated as you might think. This is super handy for gamers who want access to more games, especially those that are exclusive to Windows. Or if you need specific Windows-only programs for work or school, this can be a game changer. We're going to break down 3 ways to do it, from the simplest to the most techy. Let's get into it. First up, we'll look at using Boot Camp, which is Apple's own solution. Don't worry, it's easier than you think, even if you're new to this whole thing. Boot Camp is pretty straightforward and comes pre-installed on your Mac. We'll walk you through each step of the way. Next, we'll explore using virtualization software like Parallels or VMware Fusion. By the end of this guide, you'll be running Windows on your Mac like a pro, so stick around and let's make your Mac even more versatile. First up is Boot Camp. This is Apple's built-in solution for running Windows on your Mac. It's a handy tool that comes pre-installed on all Intel-based Macs, making it a convenient option for many users. This method is built right into your Intel-based Mac. You don't need to download any additional software, which is a big plus. It's super straightforward, but there's a catch. It only works if you have an older Mac with an Intel processor. If you're using one of the newer M1 or M2 Macs, unfortunately, Boot Camp isn't an option for you. Sorry, new M1 and M2 Mac users. You'll need to look into other solutions, which we'll cover later. With Boot Camp, you're basically splitting your hard drive in two. This means you'll need to allocate a portion of your storage specifically for Windows. One side stays as your familiar Mac OS, and the other side becomes a fresh installation of Windows. This dual boot setup allows you to run both operating systems on the same machine. When you start your computer, you choose which operating system you want to use. It's a simple process, but it does mean you have to restart your Mac every time you want to switch between macOS and Windows. No switching back and forth on the fly. This can be a bit inconvenient if you need to use both operating systems frequently. However, for those who need the full power of Windows on their Mac, Boot Camp is a solid choice. Now let's talk about virtual machines. These are like apps that trick your Mac into thinking it's a Windows computer. 2 popular options are Parallels Desktop, which costs money, and UTM, which is totally free. The cool thing about virtual machines is that they work on both Intel and those new Apple Silicon Macs. You can even run Windows alongside macOS at the same time, copying and pasting between them. Pretty neat, right? Section 4, Parallels, the best of both worlds? Finally, there's Parallels Desktop. This one's interesting because it blurs the lines between Boot Camp and virtual machines. It's designed specifically for Apple Silicon Macs and lets you run the ARM version of Windows 11. Parallels is super smooth and optimized for Apple's latest hardware. It's not free, but it might be worth the price if you need the absolute best performance and integration with your M1 or M2 Mac. Section 5. So, which way should you choose? So there you have it. 3 ways to run Windows on your Mac. Each method has its own set of advantages and potential drawbacks, so it's important to consider what you need most from your setup. Boot Camp is great for older Intel Macs and offers a native-like experience. It allows you to run Windows directly on your Mac hardware, which can be beneficial for performance-intensive applications. However, it requires you to partition your hard drive and reboot your system to switch between macOS and Windows. Virtual machines like Parallels and UTM are more versatile and work on any Mac, including the newer M1 and M2 models. They allow you to run Windows alongside macOS without rebooting, making it easy to switch between operating systems. However, they might not be as fast as Boot Camp, especially for gaming or other resource-heavy tasks. Ultimately, the best method depends on your needs and what kind of Mac you have. If you need maximum performance and have an Intel Mac, Boot Camp might be the way to go. If you prefer flexibility and have a newer Mac, a virtual machine could be more suitable. Whichever way you go, you'll unlock a whole new world of Windows software on your Mac. From productivity tools to games, the possibilities are endless. Happy computing!